All right, this video is a little different, but it still stays in line with when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. There's this very popular YouTube channel called WhistlinDiesel. This guy has 5.6 million subscribers and growing like crazy. You know, he averages about 15 to 50 million views a month. And he put out this video right here where he became the victim of the water patrol police and literally is on the verge of losing 1 to 2 years of his life because of how he and his friend were operating jet skis on a lake that wasn't populated, according to him, by anybody. Let's take a look at this. At the very beginning of this video, he says, in memory of Marvin Haymeyer. If you'll remember, Marvin Haymeyer is the guy who built the killdozer because the Granby Town Hall pushed this peaceful man to his limit. So he took this Komatsu D355A bulldozer and layered it with steel and concrete, and then he smashed over the Granby Town Hall and the house of the former mayor and several other buildings. He got stuck in the basement of the hardware store that he was destroying, and then he ended his life. But that was an example of where the government is just pushing you to your limits to the point where it's like, man, I can't win for losing here. And I'm not endorsing any of Haymeyer's activities or anything like that. Are you? Not on the record anyway. So check out this video right here.
I just want to start this off by first saying I would much rather be making a fun piece of entertainment for everyone right now.
This guy spends loads of cash destroying Ferraris, driving through brick walls with tanks. It's pretty interesting.
But the court system has forced my hand. I don't really have a choice, and I feel like the general public should know about what is going on in the DeKalb County, Tennessee court system right now.
And let me just say this. The reason I'm doing this video, it's not just the DeKalb County, Tennessee court system. This is court systems all across the board in supposedly the land of the free, home of the brave. And this shows another example of where it's not land of the free, home of the brave. It's land of the fee, home of the slave. The court system wants to take advantage of and victimize people that they're saying that they're administering justice to, for the safety of the community. Always. It's for the safety of community. It's like public safety is always the alibi of tyrants. It always has been, and it always will be.
Said, about 2 years ago, I caught a man stealing from me. I went to his house. I got the police to get a search warrant within 10 minutes, and I forgave him for stealing thousands of dollars in priceless items from me, as his wife stood there crying, and I showed him mercy for stealing 20 things from me. And I think it's very ironic that a person that has stolen is not in jail, and I and a friend may be going to jail for allegedly splashing with jet skis. So this video isn't meant to be slanderous in any way whatsoever. Everything I say is factual. I have the paperwork right in front of me. So on May 12th, 2022, I was on a lake filming a video with some friends, and after we were done filming that video, we went jet skiing. There was not a single other person on the lake. Me and my friend are just riding jet skis how jet skis are meant to be used. We're not getting in close proximity. We're not trying to hit each other. We're not doing anything dangerous.
Now this is key. If it's true that they weren't doing anything dangerous, not doing anything illegal, and the lake wasn't populated, and if it's true that there was, nobody else out there on the lake except them, that is key, because I'm about to show you the Tennessee law, which he doesn't pull up. I wish he would. Maybe even while he's fighting this court case right here, and he's going to tell you how much money he has spent on this. And this is just this guy right here. Think about how many people can't afford to hire a lawyer so they can defend themselves. This is how corrupt this system is. But stay tuned, because I'm going to show you the law. Even the judge has a misunderstanding of the law. This guy right here, who is being victimized by the state, probably has a misunderstanding of the law. And the legal team that's prosecuting the case against this guy has a misunderstanding of the law. I'm going to bring the law up, and it's nowhere near what these people right here are saying it is, which to me looks like a slam dunk win for this guy right here.
Of 4 TWRA officers, which is their version of the DNR, pulls up.
By the way, the TWRA is this right here. It's the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Basically, they're the CIA and FBI, and every state has them, but they're the federal or state agency on the lake in your state. They're the ones who are there to trample your rights in the name of boating safety. And don't get me wrong, I am not against boater safety, but these guys use it as a justification. They use boating safety as a justification to tell you, you don't have rights out here on the lake. We are the law. What we say goes, and you need to show us your papers. You need to show us your registration. You were acting out. We're going to give you a citation. And then they generate revenue for the state, just like state troopers on the road generate revenue for the state in the capacity of road pirates. So this is basically lake piracy.
But then charges my friend and I for reckless operation.
We're giving you a big break, okay? You are getting charged with reckless operation. And then
They always say that. We're giving you a big break now. You know, it's the pirates boarding your vessel and go, we're just going to take the booty that we want. We're going to take a piece out of your ASS. But we want you to know we're the good guys. We're giving you a break. And this is psychopathic mentality. It's like the rapist saying, hey, I'm not going to abuse you like I was planning on. Or the murderer going, well, you know, I'm only going to take one member of your family. Or the thief going, well, I'm just going to steal some of the valuables. That paints me out to be the good guy. It's a bunch of BS.
no butter egg. You gotta have butter egg off.
Which is a Class A misdemeanor in Tennessee. I got the same charge as a DUI. The max penalty for that is a year in jail. This is my first time on a Tennessee lake. This officer was 100% unapologetic for this. There was no suggestion of a warning. So we go to court.
That's another sign of a psychopath. They know that they have all the power. They know they have you over a barrel. And if you try to run, if you try to resist, they've got the resources of the state to deploy against you.
I'm assuming that this is going to be like a speeding ticket. I'm like, all right, we'll just get this taken care of. It's not that big of a deal. A year later, I am still going to court over splashing with a jet ski. And this is what started what I'm about to talk about. The DA, which is the district attorney in charge of prosecuting everyone for the county, he's the one that presses cases and decides which ones are worth their time and what's not. He takes me and my friend John into a dark room. The lights are off in this room with the two officers. He sits down at the table across from us, and I remember this so vividly because I could not believe it when I was hearing it. He said, I don't do this often, but I'm going to offer you guys a deal. You have a lot of pull and following on the internet. I know that you could get a lot of people to go to our Boater's Ed class. Make a video inviting people to our Boater's Ed class, and we'll drop everything.
And see this text above? Quote, and all of this goes away word for word. I wish this guy and his friend had a recording device when they took him into the room, because this is literal government extortion. If you do this, we won't do this. They hold it over your head. But if you don't do this, the implication is, boom, we're throwing the book at you, man. But he's going to point out, not everybody has that luxury. Not everybody is a social media influencer with the pull that this guy has. So how about other people? They don't get this opportunity right here, and they don't have the deep pockets that this guy has to go to legal battle with the state. And let me just show you, why would they do this? How much does it cost to get one of these, these boater safety courses? It's $10. You can see it right here. $10. So if you use your influence, Mr. Social Media Influencer, to bring more people into our boater safety course, we can get more people churned through, more $10 bills rolling in. This is about revenue for the state. This is about the guy who's trying to cut him a deal, maybe getting a promotion or getting a plaque on the wall or getting accolades or getting, public notoriety. That's what this is all about. The state always has some kind of ulterior motive that's not going to benefit you. They're going to say it's going to benefit you. Hey, we won't throw you in jail and we won't fine you X amount of dollars if you just do this for us.
Now, what if I was someone else who didn't have that? Would they be offered that deal? Or are they just going to press a charge? All right, go to jail for a year.
Exactly.
So they knew who I was. I made a video on what happened that day, and they thought that they could get a video out of me. I said, no, I have sponsors. I can't just make a video on any random subject. This is my business. I say, no, this is unfair. You can't extort my business in exchange for promoting your government agency. He's all offended. He's like, all right, well, it's off the table then or whatever. All right, this is like an episode of CSI now. We walk out of the dark room. John and I go to walk down the hallway to leave, and he says, oh, come back here. My son or this kid that works here, I forget, one of the two, wants a photo with you.
In other words, it's all for this state agent. Here, benefit me by doing this. Here, benefit me by doing that. Or you take this photo with this kid over here. Benefit me by putting out a video on your, to your 5.6 million subscribers, showing the benefits of boater safety courses. Benefit me, but nothing for you from the state. Nothing but tyranny, nothing but victimization, nothing but cost, nothing but dragging your name through the mud through the court system.
I was nice and took a photo with his son, but why would a government employee, a DA, ever do that? How can you look at someone and tell them to take a photo with your son after you just tried charging them with a year in jail?
Because you have no conscience, and you're a sociopath, and you're a psychopath, and you don't have a conscience, and you're an order follower, and you're just there to do the bidding of the state, and you don't care about the public. That's how they can do that.
That just started everyone off on the wrong foot. So I made a video talking about it, and the DA saw this, and he has made it his absolute effort to try to push this through. One day we go into the court for the preliminary hearing. We're the only ones dressed up in suits because we haven't murdered anyone or dealt meth. The judge is sitting up there, and they cross-examine the officers that pulled us over that day. They say, were you wearing body cams? No, we weren't wearing body cams. My lawyer asks the officer that pulled us over.
Of course they weren't wearing body cams. They need to be required to wear body cameras so that they can prove that their words are true, because the cameras don't lie. Law enforcement agents lie. The FBI lies. The CIA lies. People lie, but cameras don't lie. They need to be wearing body cams. But here's the rub here. He's getting to the point where we need to really delve deeper into this, because I think this piece of information will get this guy off like that.
Say, were you wearing body cams? No, we weren't wearing body cams. My lawyer asks the officer that pulled us over, what did you witness them doing? He says, I witnessed them operating their jet skis within 30 yards of each other, which is 90 feet. He then
now keep in mind that wording is very important. What did you witness them doing? They were operating their jet skis 30 yards or 90 feet from each other. I'm going to show you the Tennessee boating law from Tennessee.gov, where it doesn't say anything about simple operation within 90 yards. As a matter of fact, there is no requirement to stay a certain amount of feet or yards away from another boat, except in certain circumstances, which it doesn't sound like it was met right here. Remember, the charge is reckless operation. Operating two vehicles on the water at 30 yards or 90 feet away does not constitute, according to their own law, reckless operation. I'm going to show you that in a second. But listen, it sounds like he's ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I'm not talking about stupid. I'm just talking about this is knowledge that you're just not aware of, and you just need to do a little bit of digging, and then you can find it, because it doesn't really take long to do a Google search to find out what the actual law, Tennessee law, is for watercraft operating certain distances from each other. So he's ignorant on this. The guy who's representing him is ignorant. The prosecution is ignorant, and then the judge shows his ignorance.
Asks, what is the legal operating distance of two watercraft between each other? He says 150 feet. The judge then corrects the TWA officer and says, no, it looks like it's actually 100 feet. So you're telling me that this officer could tell from half a mile away through binoculars that we were within 10 feet of getting a year in jail?
First of all, that is a good point right there. But if you look at the Tennessee Boating Safety Handbook from tn.gov, this is their actual boating manual. This is the handbook of Tennessee boating laws and responsibilities. You see over here on page 8, on the water, encountering other vehicles, nothing in here. It says practice to prevent collisions. Every operator should follow 3 basic rules of navigation. These are 3 basic rules. Practice good seamanship, keep a sharp lookout, maintain safe speed and distance. And it doesn't say in here what the safe distance is, because it depends. And the only place that they show an actual distance measurement is over here on page 37. It says unlawful operation. Tennessee law states that it is unlawful to operate a watercraft in a reckless, negligent, or dangerous manner. Violations are punishable by up to a fine of $2,500 and up to 6 months in jail. Specifically, the following operating practices are illegal. Okay, so this is what reckless operation is, none of which this channel owner said, or the prosecutors or the sheriff's department. All he said was, it's reckless operation. They didn't say what criteria was met to be called reckless operation. It says reckless operation of a vessel is any act that endangers the life, limb, or property of another person. Examples of illegal reckless operation are, and you tell me if they met this criteria based on what we know. Operating a vessel in a swimming area. Doesn't sound like they were, because if they were, the cops would have made a point about that. It's like you were operating in a swimming area, and that would be bad for anybody to do. Weaving your vessel through congested waterway traffic. It sounds like, from the lack of testimony from the prosecution and from the testimony of the defense, there wasn't anybody else out on the lake except for them, him and his friend. Steering toward another object or person on the water and swerving at the least possible moment in order to avoid a collision or spray others nearby. It doesn't sound like they were doing that. Could they have been? Yes, but if they were, the cops would have said that. Because it's like, what did you observe? Oh, we observed them within 90 feet of each other, 30 yards of each other. They didn't say they were trying to do play chicken and then swerve at the last possible moment. If they could have said that, they would have said that. But they didn't. Jumping the wake of another vessel in a way that endangers another's life, safety, or property. They didn't say that. Chasing, harassing, or disturbing wildlife with your vessel. And then here's the improper distance or speed. Check this out. Is not maintaining a proper speed and distance while operating a vessel. Examples are operating at an excessive rate of speed in crowded or dangerous areas. Doesn't sound like it was crowded. Operating a vessel at a greater than slow no wake speed in any areas marked as no wake. If they were doing that, the cops would have said it. Operating within 300 feet of a commercial vessel dock at greater than idle speed. Nothing there. Jumping, this is the only thing that could fit. Jumping the wake of another vessel within 100 feet of that vessel. It's not about, what did he ask? What did he ask? The prosecution. The prosecution and the cop said, the question was asked by the defense attorney. What did you observe? We observed them operating their vessels within 30 yards of each other. That doesn't fit this. They could have said operating and trying to jump the wake of another person within 100 feet. They didn't say that. So according to the Tennessee law of watercraft on lakes in Tennessee, it doesn't sound like they even have a case based on the testimony of the prosecution. Or they would have said, yeah, they were here's exactly what they were doing to garner the reckless operation charge that we have against them. Nothing like that. So if WhistlinDiesel is watching this video right here, I will put the link to this Tennessee boating handbook in the description, along with 18 USC 242, because basically what is it called? Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency agents were doing, they are depriving this guy's rights under color of, I don't know, making things up, under color of water law. They're depriving these guys' rights. They're violating 18 USC 242. And because it's involved in the court system, they're violating 18 USC 241, conspiracy against rights, because it really looks like they're conspiring against this guy, especially when they offered under the extortion practices of the state to say, hey, if you put this out to your audience so we can get more people in our boaters ed classes, we'll forget about this whole thing. We'll forget it ever happened. Well, that's obviously you're not concerned about public safety or if you're willing to brush it under the rug for a favor.
Ever since that pretrial, I was waiting for the audio recording. I had my lawyer submit a request. A month goes by. I call finally. I say, hey, where is our pretrial? I would really like this pretrial. Sorry, we can only give that to your lawyer. So I said, all right, well, he's going to come pick it up. Sorry, we're having problems with our system. No, he's going to get it Monday. They're stalling as much as they can for us to not have this. My lawyer drives 2 hours to the courthouse Monday, and he picks up this CD, DeKalb County Prelim, State versus Detweiler.
This is ridiculous right here.
We get the CD, and we try it in literally everything. CD
They handed him a blank CD from the state.
Nothing. There's nothing.
It's a blank CD.
Yeah, it would be here.
Dude.
Anything was on there would come out.
But what I can't understand is why the CD's blank. They say, oh, we've been having some trouble with our system lately. Okay, well, their system can only burn CDs apparently. I want audio of this pretrial. This literally explains my innocence. My lawyer sends me this letter that he got from the judge. This is so funny.
Actually, what explains his innocence is the testimony of the prosecution and the fact that they didn't even describe reckless operation, because it sounds like he was within the law. If they weren't jumping wakes, let's say this, if they were jumping wakes within 100 feet of each other, then they were violating that law. But that's not what the law enforcement agents were saying, and they have a case. They've got a case against the state.
I'm sending you a copy of the audio recording from the preliminary hearing held on February 21st, 2023. This audio is released to you as counsel for the defendant to assist in the defense of the pending case. While I understand that you may need to play this audio recording for your client as part of your preparation, and you may need to share this with the co-defendant's counsel, you are not authorized to disseminate, or distribute this recording to any other persons. And this recording shall not be published in any form on any social media or any media platform. This applies to your client or anyone acting on behalf of or in concert with your client. Should you have any problems with my instructions, you're welcome to contact my office to discuss this with me directly. All right.
In other words, they're not interested in transparency. Don't post this on social media. It's embarrassing. Even all by itself, let's say they were trying to jump the wake at 100 feet away. 100 feet, that's 1/3 of a football field. That's a long way away, especially if nobody else is on the lake.
Play that game. They don't want me to have anything to talk about on social media because they know that I'm making videos talking about what's going on in the court. I don't care if their equipment's not updated. Sure, it'd be fine if the CD actually had anything on it. But what's up with the games? Like, I don't get that. And they also send me the letter that says I can't have the pretrial when any other person in any other case would get the pretrial. The poor other kid that's in on this with me is kind of at my mercy because they won't drop it for him. So as long as I don't back down, this other kid faces the same charges as me. So any other person would not be able to afford the legal fees to take something this far.
Exactly.
Especially with a good lawyer. Let's just say I've hired someone to help take care of this because I would like to. Let's just say that all this could be resolved very quickly, I feel like. So I am now in just over $75,000 in legal fees for this. I'm paying for my
$75,000. And it all started with two guys on two jet skis on an unpopulated lake because these yahoos over at the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency just couldn't leave people alone in their freedom. That's what it all amounts to right there. Nope, we can't let you have any fun. And there's always this cloud of tyrannical oppression hanging over people. Oh my gosh, are we breaking a law right now? Probably. You're probably out there right now thinking that you're doing the right thing, but you're breaking a law somewhere. And there's going to be some order following law enforcement official who's drunk on his own authority and his own power. And he's there to ruin your day. $75,000. He represents just not even a smidgen. It's not even a blip on the screen of all the people who are in litigation right now, who are literally facing jail time for having harmed no one. That's not land of the free, home of the brave, in my opinion.
Myself and this other kid to help defend him because he literally operates a cattle farming business. Like really, you picked the absolute worst possible person to fuck with because I don't put up with this. And I see it happen all the time. To protest against courts seeing civilians as vulnerable and weak people that they can take advantage of and to help pay for $75,000.
And that's what the court system looks at. That is what the system is built for. It's built for predation. It's built to victimize people. It's not built to help you. It's built to actually increase their coffers while it makes you poor. And it's a power and wealth transfer. The courts, the state, the law enforcement arm, the politicians, they all are enriched by making criminals of people who are innocent. Unbelievable. So here's the part of this video I also wanted to focus on because he wants to create a situation where he can make some money and he can fight this kind of thing. And this is the kind of thing that I want to do to help people like this, because if we can win in this kind of litigation and take this all the way to the Supreme Court, we can actually establish case law and a precedent to show, hey, you cannot continue to roughshod over people that are trusting you to serve and protect them.
$1,000 in legal fees. I have made the jet ski t-shirt. Now I hand drew this. I literally whipped it up in 30 seconds on Photoshop. So it says, eliminate him, jet ski bad, ban water, no H2O, jail citizens with boats. Here's my plan. If I could just get 5,000 people to buy this shirt, that's enough to take this to the Supreme Court so that everyone can afford this shirt. I made it cheaper than all the others, and it's now on monstermax.com. This is not real money, in case people think I'm just rolling in the dough. I spent more time on this t-shirt than the DeKalb County Courthouse spends on professionally putting together a court case.
So let me just back this up right here. I'm going to leave WhistlinDiesel's video link in the description, along with, I think he said there was, oh, I don't see. Okay, here it is, monstermax.com. I haven't been to this. Let's see. I'll also leave the link to monstermax.com if you want to get that. I don't see where it is. Oh, there it is. If you want to get this, I'm not, nobody's sponsoring this, but I cannot stand the injustice that's going on. And like I said, the concerning thing to me is that the state is constantly picking on people who can't afford to go through litigation. He can afford it. He's got deep pockets. He can make it through this, but this is basically for all those people who can't. Well, it's for him too. Because see, what this agency right here, this Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency did to this guy, they would do to you. And not just Tennessee, but Arkansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, every single state has those waterway state agents that are out there to just put their thumb on you, put their boot on your neck, and they don't give a damn about your liberty. And they'll say, hey, we're doing it for water safety. Everybody's for water safety. It's not good to get out there on the water or on the roadways and act like a hoodlum and put people's life at risk. But it's also not acceptable to have these agents use that as a justification to take away everybody else's liberties who happens to be innocent out on the lake. So leave your thoughts about this. The links will be in the description. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. If you follow WhistlinDiesel, send them this video right here so that they can be aware of what's actually in the Tennessee Boating Laws and Responsibilities Handbook, because I think they're really missing stuff, especially from here on page 37, where, the 100-foot rule is if you're jumping the wake of another vessel, that would be reckless operation or improper speed and distance. So send this to WhistlinDiesel. I appreciate you guys joining in. I know this was a long video, but this is the kind of stuff that we have to fight against. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having it. I'll see you in the next video.